This meeting is being held in compliance with the provisions of the Open Public Meetings Act, NJSA 10:4-6 et sec. Notice has been forwarded to the New Jersey Herald. It was posted on the bulletin board maintained in the municipal building and was noticed on the borough website. Can I have a roll call?
Mr. Bongiovanni.
Here.
Mr. Falcone.
Present.
Ms. Johnson.
Here.
Mr. Kukovic.
Here.
Ms. Rodriguez.
Here.
Mr. Taylor.
Here.
Mayor Glatte.
Here. If you will all stand and join me in a salute to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. First thing I'm going to do tonight is a proclamation. I'm actually going to go forward. Bob, you can come on up here. So for all of you that don't know Bob, Bob is the owner of ENT, and he's also an owner of the fabulous restaurant that's Rustic Tex-Mex.
Hello, everyone.
Bob is a great part of our community as a business leader here and as someone who's a great contributor, but also so is his family. We've all grown up around him and all. Wrote a proclamation for him, even though he's not a resident of Hopatcong, but he really is a resident of Hopatcong. So, Borough of Hopatcong proclamation honoring Rahul Patel. Whereas service to one's country represents one of the highest forms of commitment, courage, and selflessness, and whereas Rahul Patel has chosen to answer the call to serve by entering the United States Army, demonstrating a profound dedication to the principles of duty, honor, and patriotism. And whereas the men and women of our armed forces make tremendous sacrifices to protect the freedom and values the Americans cherish. And whereas, although Rahul Patel is not a resident of the borough of Hopatcong, his family maintains strong ties in our community through local businesses and their continued support and involvement in the life of our borough. And whereas the borough of Hopatcong recognizes and applauds Rahul Patel's decision to embark upon this noble journey of military service and wishes to express its gratitude for his willingness to serve our nation. And whereas the residents of Hopatcong stand united in offering their encouragement, support, and best wishes as Rahul begins the important chapter in his life. Now, therefore, I, Marie Galati, Mayor of the Borough of Hopatcong, on behalf of the Borough Council and the residents of Hopatcong, do hereby recognize and honor Rahul Patel for his commitment to serve in the United States Army and extend our heartfelt appreciation, support, and best wishes for a safe, successful, and distinguished military career. May Rahul Patel serve with pride, return home safely, and always know that he carries with him the gratitude and support of the Hopatcong community. In witness whereof, I have 15th day of July, and we have now proclaimed August 2nd, 2026 as Rahul Patel Day. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
He's receiving on behalf of himself.
Got it.
This next one is going to be our Mayor of the Year for 2025.
Citizen?
Citizen, sorry, the Mayor's Award, Citizen of the Year, sorry. I would have gotten it, I read it. So, dear Mayor Galati, I'm writing to formally nominate Mike Nicotra for the honor of 2025 Hopatcong Citizen of the Year. He's surprised. We told him it was somebody else receiving it tonight, so you'll see he's completely shocked. I'm writing to formally nominate Mike Nicotra for the honor of 2025 Hopatcong Citizen of the Year. Mike exemplifies the true spirit of community, leadership, and selfless service that this award is meant to recognize. Over the years, Mike has demonstrated an unwavering commitment to improving the lives of those around him. His dedication to community service, combined with his willingness to step forward wherever there is a need, has made a meaningful and lasting impact on Hopatcong. He has served for several years as the president of the Youth Soccer Association while also coaching his son's travel soccer team. Mike's commitment to youth development extends far beyond the soccer field. He served as Cub Master for Pack 88 throughout all three of his sons' journeys in Cub Scouts and currently serves as Assistant Scoutmaster for Troop 88 in Hopakon. In addition, Mike participated in the 2022 BSA Philmont Trek, hiking over 100 miles alongside his two sons. This was an experience that reflects his commitment to leadership, perseverance, and family. Through these roles, he has participated in and led numerous community service projects, mentoring countless young people along the way. Many scouts who have gone on to achieve the rank of Eagle Scout credit Mike's guidance, his leadership, and steady support as instrumental in their success. In both his leadership roles and his quiet acts of kindness, Mike consistently demonstrates that true citizenship is defined by action, integrity, and compassion. His contributions have helped bring people together, strengthen community bonds, and inspire others to get involved. He always has a positive attitude and has fun while participating in events. Anyone that knows Mike knows that his voice has a way of making sure everyone within a zip code feels his enthusiasm. These attributes set an example for the residents of all ages, and his influence can be seen in many lives that he's touched. What truly sets Mike apart is not only what he has accomplished, but he does it with humility, generosity, and a genuine desire to make a difference. He does not seek recognition, yet his impact on the community is undeniable. For these reasons, I can think of no one more deserving of the 2025 Citizen of the Year Award than Mike Nicotra. I respectfully urge you to consider his nomination. Thank you for your time and consideration. The Hoy family. Mike, you want to come up here?
Not there.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
So I'm going to read the bottom part because the top is that whole letter. So now, therefore, I, Mayor Marie Galati of the Borough of Hopakon, have hereunto set my hand and caused the seal of the Borough of Hopakon to be affixed this 15th day of July. On behalf of the Borough Council and the residents of Hopakon, we recognize and extend our deepest gratitude for outstanding service and here do proclaim August 1st, 2026 as Mike Nicotra Day. So all of the municipal events that you go to, you have to wear this sash.
Oh, my God. Obviously, doesn't have high heels.
He doesn't have, no, doesn't have high heels.
Better sing it at every soccer game next season.
Yeah, if it's,
Where's the crown?
That's how you get me with the
So
uniform.
now all of you make sure that he has this on him when you see him and he's out and about in public.
Oh, jeez. Thank you.
And we have this wonderful You Make a Difference Award for Mike Nicotra. Congratulations again.
Thank you.
And
Thank
thank
you
you
all
all
very
so
much.
much for
Thank
keeping
you.
the secret and for making it here and telling him untruths to get him here.
Oh. Too much.
Thank you so much, Mike.
Thank you. Too many others. Thank you.
Thank you all. It's always nice to do all those types of fun things. Okay, moving on. Since our last council meeting, there has been a few updates. Seniors Incorporated has had their election and installed their newest president, Richard Moore. I attended the Sussex County America 250 celebration in June. It was a spectacular day with reenactors, food trucks, vendors, games, a whole host of fun. In conclusion for the evening, they held their ceremonies, and one of the most poignant moments of the ceremony was a time capsule that the county set aside, and it will be opened in the next 25 years. For Hopakon, we had one of our Hopakon history books. We had a proclamation that I wrote, and we also had one of our Hopakon Police Department badges. In Sussex County, not every municipality is represented by their own police department. They're represented by the state police. So we wanted that to be known. It was a very moving ceremony. I want to thank Max, our recreation superintendent, for attending the event, and also our environmental chair, Cliff London. The Lake Hopakon Commission meeting, recently, the lake is a little bit over 9 feet. If you're asking and wondering, the fountain is off for cleaning. It should be turned on very shortly. We just recently started doing the testing for the cyanobacteria. Those samples were collected and we don't have the results yet. That's probably going to take another 2 weeks. The geese addling has also started, and that we don't have a report for that either yet. That will take a little bit to do. We had our Senior Olympics at the Sussex County Fairgrounds. I want to thank Casey from the Senior Center and Ida Brown for all of their organizational skills and for all of the participants who were there that day. We did not place in the top 3, but we had an awesome day. There was an awesome lunch, and we did make a lot of individual medals for bronze, silver, and gold. So kudos to all of the Hopakon seniors, and thank you to Sussex County for continuing to do the Sussex County Olympics. I also want to congratulate Miss Hopakon, which is Morgan Cinnamon. She'll be participating at the Sussex County Fair for Queen of the Fair on Saturday, August 1st. If you're not doing anything that day, I would suggest that you come to the fair and help cheer her on. She'll be competing with all of the other queens from all of the different towns, and it's always nice to have your town surrounding you. So if you're available, if you can make it there, that'd be great. I do want to thank Max for the Miss Hopakon pageant that he did put together. The administrator and I attended the mayor's spring meeting at Hudson Guild Farm, along with the other 3 mayors on the lake and their administrators and the Lake Hopakon Foundation and the DEP. There were a lot of very positive conversations, comments, and questions that we're diligently waiting to get information back on. One of the questions that I had, and some of you that have been here a while will remember this, I asked the DEP if they can go back and find out why the state park isn't open when we do the fireworks. The fireworks is a very big thing on the lake. If you don't have access to the lake, you really can't see that beautiful display. But for many, 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 many decades, they used to open the state park. And for some reason, over the last 10 years or so, they have not. So I'm hoping for 2027, we'll be able to do that. I did attend the Elks Flag Day ceremony and participated with the Mayor of Mount Arlington, Mike Stanzillis. The Elks were kind enough to allow us to participate. They have a monumental Flag Day ceremony. If you have not seen it before, hopefully for next year, you can make your way over there. It truly is amazing. The administrator, myself, and the chairman from Environmental, Cliff London, attended the Sustainable Jersey ceremony where we received a grant for $2,000, which we applied for through the Environmental Commission. The project that was chosen is cleaning the waterfalls that are over by Crescent Cove Beach Club and to install some benches at the bottom of it. We're looking forward to starting the project. I do want to congratulate the 2026 Hopakon High School graduates. As usual, our graduates had a beautiful ceremony, and it's always great to see our future moving forward. The administrator and I also had a meeting recently with our DPW Water and Sewer Department. We also had the senior picnic where we unveiled the seniors of the year. The nominations for that were Mary Butt and Al Zatnia. They had their senior picnic. It was great. It ended with ice cream from True Vine. If you have not gone there, make sure you go there. They had something different this year with their DJ who actually added karaoke to it. So they were karaokeing through the afternoon. It was great. The following Saturday, we had the annual Veterans Cruise. Thank you to Captain Lee and everyone who participates to make that day so special. 24 veterans from Hopakon and 24 veterans from Jefferson were on the boat that morning. And it's nice because it's a royalty treatment from the minute that they step out of their car, get on the boat, get off the boat, get to the Elks Lodge for their luncheon with their families. It really is an amazing day. And it takes a lot of people to make it happen. So thank you to everybody who was able to help on that. My update for the New Jersey Conference of Mayors, the mayors of New Jersey are currently doing a mayor's pledge to support property tax relief in the support of restoring the energy tax receipts and increasing municipal aid. This would be a full restoration of energy tax receipts to New Jersey municipalities consistent with the state's original commitments. It would increase municipal aid to reflect inflation, rising operation costs, and unfunded state-driven mandates, and to reaffirm the state's commitment to affairs and dependable partnerships with local governments so that municipalities can continue serving our residents effectively while easing the pressure on our taxpayers. I would also like to add some information about the restoration that took place from JCP&L after the July 4th storms. These were storms unlike we've seen in years. 4 consecutive days of storms bringing severe thunderstorms with winds exceeding 65 miles an hour and flooding rains. The damage to the system for JCP&L was comparable to what they see in hurricanes, massive restoration efforts. Power was restored to more than 400,000 affected customers. Hundreds of contractors already on site for the heat wave were joined by thousands of additional contractors and mutual assistance partners. Approximately 5,700 workers worked around the clock in restoration efforts, nearly 2,900 line workers, 1,400 forestry, as well as substation electricians, hazard responders, damage assessors, dispatchers, and support personnel. Trees mostly outside the right-of-ways were the primary cause of outages. Nearly 1,500 forestry orders were addressed, many with multiple trees down at a single site. In all of the crews replaced more than 500 broken poles in the state of New Jersey, over 600 transformers, and over 163,000 feet of wire, which is 31 miles. And this is only JCP&L. You have PSE&G, there are other Elizabethtown Electric. There's quite a few different electric companies in the state of New Jersey. This is just JCP&L. So it really was a devastating storm. Post-storm patrols and inspections are underway across thousands of miles to identify new potential hazards for JCP&L. Once JCP&L has completed this process, they'll meet with individual municipalities, which will be our OEM committee, to discuss our individual needs for Hopatcon moving forward. I do want to thank Rich Bartlett, our OEM coordinator. That's Office on Emergency Management Coordinator. In accordance with Hopatcon's emergency communication policy, all official updates were issued through the OEM coordinator and his office to ensure accurate, timely, and consistent information for our residents. As I've always said in the past, when there is a situation, if you're going to go to Facebook to get your information, go to the Hopatcon police page, go to our fire department page, go to our OEM page, go to our municipal page. Don't go to my page, don't go to council pages, don't go to your neighbor's page, because even though everybody says they know what they're talking about, go to those specific pages, because those messages will be the same message over and over and over again. And our ambulance page too, Rob, I'm sorry, I need to forget that. But they will have the same message over and over and over again in a situation like that. We want to make sure that the message getting to everybody is the same. Unfortunately, every time we have one of these storms, we have our roundtable discussions afterwards. We learn what we might have been able to do better. Issues hopefully moving forward. Hopatcon has not had their OEM roundtable discussion yet. We're also waiting to sit with JCP&L. That'll take place, I think we said in the next week. I think they said they can meet with us. I, for one, am looking forward to sharing my notes. This past Saturday, the 11th, we had the Hop Sail 250. That was an amazing event on Lake Hopatcon. If you did not get to participate, it was the first organized boat parade on Lake Hopatcon with motorized boats, Chris-Craft boats, sailboats, kayaks, canoes, wave runners, and all of it organized in the celebration of our great nation's 250th year birthday. It's an amazing moment to be able to take part of it. I do want to say thank you to Bradley Hoferkamp for sitting on the Hop Sail committee with myself, the administrator, Ron Tappan, and we were able to pull Max in at the end. Very proud to be, part of history for that day. It was wonderful. This morning, we dedicated the pickleball court behind the senior center. We have a large community who likes to participate with pickleball, and it was great to see the court being used for the first time today. Thank you to Ron Tappan and to Max for helping out this morning, and Casey. Looking forward to this new recreational location for our residents. The pickleball was also installed under a grant, which is always very good. And in closing, we've had a few grants that have come in since our last meeting, one of them being the public water settlement for $26,544, which will go towards our infrastructure with our water system, specifically the carbon filtration systems on our wells. We received $1,310 for our national opioid settlement, which will add to our awareness, education, and prevention of opioids. Our recycling tonnage grant was $15,534. This will go to education, materials, and improvements in referencing recycling. We also have the grant for $182,570 from the New Jersey Department of Transportation for the paving of Sutton Division and Indiana Trail. There certainly seems to have been a lot that's happened in the last several weeks since our last meeting, but I will close on the fact that we did receive $289,958 in grants. So I'll end on that very positive message. Moving on to committee reports, Steve.
I was gonna give you a yellow card.
I know, I was gonna give
I think what you need a hydration break. So past Saturday, July 11th, 1926, whole bunch of guys up in Northwood got together and formed this company called Northwood Firehouse Number Two. And 100 years later, here we are, we're celebrating what they had started 100 years ago. So right after the boat parade, which was an awesome event, a whole bunch of local, active guys got together. We met at the firehouse. We kind of went through the history and stuff like that just for now. And the next month or two, they'll be having an open house. They're getting a brand new community stuff, so you look out for that. The boat ride was an awesome event. I was kind of worried. There was a couple of boats up there that had so many flags up there. I figured if there was any kind of wind, they're going to take off like a sail. And congratulations to Argentina and Spain if you're a football fan and enjoy your game on Sunday. And I hope you stay out of the traffic on Route 3.
Thank
And
you.
feel sorry about the theater, Lisa.
Yeah, it's what are you gonna do? A long, painful journey.
Marie covered almost everything on the seniors, so I'll just go into environmental. We had a cleanup of the rain garden by the senior center on the upper one. We did that. We remulched it. We're looking for volunteers to help with the second rain garden at the senior center. There's a hike through outer spatial that's being done by Trails. It's I think a 4-hike thing, and you can win a prize. You can go online and look for that. And then I want to thank Allison and her husband for supplying the boat for the Environmental Commission to go out on the boat parade. That's it.
Very good. Thank you. Jennifer?
I wanted to thank Marty King from the foundation, the Paccon Foundation Museum for the 250 event on Saturday. It was wonderful. Congratulations to Morgan Cinnamon on becoming our Miss Hope Paccon. Congratulations to our graduates, our high school graduates. That was a fun event. It was very hot in the gym. Congratulations to our seniors of the year. I wanted to wish a happy 100th birthday to Northwood Fire Department and to Mike Nicotra, who I've had the pleasure of interacting with for the last, 8, 9, 12, 15 years. There's no one more deserving. Congratulations on being our 2026 Citizen of the Year. In regards to my committees, the next Board of Education meeting is July 27th at 7 p.m. The work has started on the high school roof, and then they will be moving over to Tulsa Trail for their roof, and they're slated to be done before school starts. School starts early this year, starts August 31st, starts before Labor Day this year. Our Alliance, the Alliance, their next meeting is August 17th at 6:15. They are hosting a movie night, Hoppers, at the high school tennis court, which is actually at the senior center, at 8 p.m. on August 21st. The ambulance department is meeting July 21st. I have it written down. I missed the last one, but then thank God I didn't miss it. And in regards to the power outage, I think that JCP&L really needs to start taking a tour of, I know specifically I'm going to be a little selfish here in Hopatcon because this is where I live, but our infrastructure here is horrific. You can take a ride around and get 50 pole numbers in a shot that need to be fixed, replaced. The trees are coming down on them. I mean, and the common joke here is everybody loses power in Hopatcon when a squirrel farts. And I think that it's really like I'm on the main grid, so I don't lose power as frequently or as long as everybody else does. I was probably the first to get it back during Sandy, but I can't even imagine how frustrating it is for the people that don't live on the main grid like I do to go 11 days or 6 days or 2 days without power and no communication, and nothing ever gets fixed. JCP&L they just ignore us. They continue to ignore us. And I think we need to rattle some cages and be a little bit louder. And that's all. Thanks.
Thank you. Joe?
No committee updates for me, Mayor, but I do want to congratulate Mike. Mike, I couldn't think of a more deserving person to represent the town of Hopatcon. Every time I see Mike, he's smiling, in a good mood, always so jovial and happy. So it's reassuring every time I go by your house and see and have conversations. It's fantastic, and you've done a terrific job with all of the youth in town. So again, just congratulations. Thank you for all that you do.
Thank you. Anthony?
Well, again, congratulations, Mike. I don't know you, but I've heard a lot of wonderful things about you. So congratulations on the Citizen of the Year Award. It sounds like it's incredibly well deserved. And congratulations to Northwood for their Northwood Firehouse for their 100th anniversary. And I think, I was in the boat parade. That was a great time. Marty Kane did a good job. Everybody that participated in that did a great job in putting that together. But I have to say, when I passed by River Styx and saw the display that Hapag put up, I was very proud of being in the town. The fire department and the police department did a wonderful job, and it was great to see that to celebrate the 250th anniversary. So, job well done. On the real estate committee, the administration, Ron and team continue to line up potential real estate sales, which is great. We have one that we're going to auction tonight. We have another one we'll introduce the ordinance to sell another property at a future meeting. And there's also two opportunities. One of the places that can bring in a considerable amount of money is when you take non-conforming properties, put them together into a conforming property, because they're so much more valuable. And there's a couple of those as well that the team is working on. So very, very happy to see how the real estate sales have revived, and that certainly is making a difference to the town. On the redevelopment side, the redevelopment plan for Lakeside Boulevard and Patchogue area over here has been sent to the Land Use Board for their approval. There is also some additional opportunity for expansion in that particular redevelopment area. So that's kind of exciting. I think attracting people to come into town now and start doing some of that redevelopment really is important. So we're going to have to work on that. The Sewer and the Water Committee, I have no new updates for that. On the Finance Committee, the white collar, blue collar negotiations are continuing, hoping to bring that to a conclusion soon. That's been a difficult road, but making progress for certain. The other thing I want to bring up too, and I brought this up once before, the Finance Committee would like to recommend that the Finance Committee and the Fire Committee work together with the fire chiefs to evaluate the suitability to consolidate 3 firehouses into 2. Potentially, as long as there's no impact to the town, from a fire response perspective, it might be a good opportunity, or should be a good opportunity, to save money. And in addition, potentially repurpose a firehouse to be used for other services for the town, whether that's for EMS, wellness center, maybe a senior civic center, or a combination thereof. So I am working with Ron. I'm going to work with Steve to put that together so we can start having conversations. I have had a conversation with Matt Smith, who was our fire chief, and he certainly seemed to be in favor of having a discussion, talking about it. So I was very, very pleased to see that. So for committee updates, that's about it. Marie did talk about our mayor talked about the New Jersey Conference of Mayors. She omitted to mention the fact that she was appointed to the 26-27 Board of Directors of the New Jersey Conference of Mayors, which is really quite an achievement. The reality is that no other Hapag mayor that I know of, and I believe no other Hapag mayor, has ever been appointed to this board. So, and being elected by her peers, and that's a big deal. There's over 500 mayors in the state of New Jersey. So it's a great achievement for the mayor, and also it's of great value to the town, as well as it gives Hapag a real voice when it comes to statewide municipal policies and initiatives. So I think it's really important. So join me in congratulating Marie on that honor.
Thank you very much. I appreciate
And
that.
that's it, you're bonus.
Thank you. Thank you, Anthony. Rachel?
Yes, Mike, congratulations. Where is it? What lie did they tell you to get you here?
That's a good question.
He was gonna get an award over there.
Well, congratulations. That's phenomenal. I do have no committee reports just because my committees haven't that I had prior committee reports and the grants for new business, because it's a good amount, but that's it.
Sure. Okay. Moving along, our administrator's report.
Mayor, I think you covered about everything that I've been involved in and then some, but what I'd like to do is turn it over to our council and do one of the fun things I like to do, and let's get a property back on the books.
Hold on, Ron. I'm sorry. Before we move on, we haven't had a council meeting in 6 weeks. Can we get any type of update on the water infrastructure, the leaks, what's going on? Because we are getting endless calls emails, concerns, like any update at all, because there's been nothing.
Okay,
Well, the only update that we have is that we're the Bell Ave situation is the biggest issue with the water that we have. And Bell Ave has water going through it and to it, and everybody has water. And once our budget is finalized and we have the bids back from Bell Ave, we can then go through and do that project. Everybody has water in the borough of Hopatcon. There isn't anybody that doesn't have water.
There's a leak on Mast too. Is there an update on that leak?
I'm not prepared to, I didn't write up anything to report out on that. I got your lengthy email the other day. I haven't had a chance to respond to all those attributes. As the mayor alluded to, we're running pretty healthy right now as far as water is concerned. Now, we've tore up a lot of roads repairing those, and those will be done as soon as the budget's approved and we can buy asphalt. We'll go in and repair those. It's a major water detail that's gonna happen on Bell. We gotta tear it up and replace the line, then we can repave that. So that's about all I can repair on right now. Right now, the wells are healthy right now, so.
So Ron, right now you're working on emergency budget appropriation only, so
Yeah, I
now
got
that's being done. So the fire truck that's sitting in the DPW parking lot is not being repaired because our budget is not being.
I
passed,
can't buy
right?
much of anything. We're keeping the lights on, we're buying fuel, and we're paying the salary, so it's
Oh, that's very good. to hear.
CFO stays in my ear every day. So,
Alright.
if we may,
Yep, alright, this is gonna be an auction of block 4414, lot 39. Known as 124 Jefferson Trail. This was authorized by ordinance 14/2026. The minimum bid is $9,800. The winning bidder needs to put a 10% deposit plus $450 for costs. I'm gonna open up the bid now, for the minimum bid of $9,800. Are there any bids? Yes, $9,800. Anyone else? Alright, seeing nobody, we're gonna award it to, I'm sorry, your name is,
Teresa Griga.
okay, do you have her information? or-
absolutely,
Okay,
we'll be in touch.
Thank you.
Thank you. Make a motion to accept the.
make a motion to accept the bid for $9,800.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Roll call.
Mr. Bongiovanni,
Yes.
Mr. Falcone,
Yes.
Ms. Johnson.
Yes.
Mr. Kukovic,
Yes.
Ms. Rodriguez.
Yes.
Mr. Taylor.
Yes.
Thank you. Moving on to public comment. Can I have a motion to open to the public?
So made.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Abstentions? Meeting is open to the public.
Monday, 6 weeks.
I don't know. You have that much time? Just a couple of things. What happened to Hudson hike this year? Did they have it?
We swapped it with Byron.
I think it's.
I see. So when will that be? Although I can't make it because I'm too old.
I'll come and pick you up.
I need a gurney.
We need the age, that's how we get the money now.
Pardon?
We need the age.
You need the age is good. Okay, so that'll be in the fall, you think? No. All right, and what happened with the guardrail on DuPont? We just put it up and I saw it, it was smashed up. Did the person who pay for this?
I think Ron could touch up on that, because anytime they guardrail, they put these plastic cones for like 4 years.
Yeah.
And it's I don't know how the date.
It's turned into the insurance companies and the insurance companies fight over it. And do their thing.
So they're still fighting.
Yeah.
And Bell, I noticed, the detour, what's wrong over there?
We had a major, I don't know what you call it, spike, for lack of better words, in the water department. And it raised the asphalt over 4 to 8 inches above the grade. So we don't know specifically what's under that surface right now. It could be a sinkhole, it could be a whole lot of dangerous things that if somebody drives over that, it could be hazardous. So once we get the bid specs in, we're gonna open that whole thing up, replace the pipe and pack it down and repave it.
Do you take the detour, Dave?
I do,
Stop by
sometimes,
my house and say
sometimes.
hello. Stop by my house and say hello because I actually wish they would close that road because I like all the traffic that comes my way.
Your wife
And I've
does
been-
it.
Yeah, because I've been seeing people that I haven't seen in
What are you on?
Decade.
Are you on DuPont?
Yeah,
too?
the beige house.
Fake DuPont.
Fake
we call
DuPont,
that
fake- I'm on fake DuPont.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I'll be outside mowing my lawn. Make sure you say hi.
okay, I'll do that. Whit Park, is that done yet, or? Is it called Whit Park? or
Whitten
what?
Park.
Whitten,
No, it's not done yet.
they're still working on it?
Witten Park is a project from the Lake Hopatcong Foundation,
Yeah,
not from Hopatcong.
I see. When do you think it'll be done?
The update that they had on Monday, they didn't have a current update. There was no new update.
I see. And as far as, I've been pushing for them opening this, the swimming area at the state park. Have they increased the funding or are they gonna open it more for people so they can go swimming?
They are funded with 6 lifeguards a day, which is their maximum, and they're open Wednesday through Sunday.
What happened to Monday and Tuesday?
For some reason, they don't, the state park isn't,
It's a holiday or something?
I'm not sure.
Let's see. Okay, let's see what else we have. Due to the sharing of our services with animal control and with the court system, are we actually saving money from these two projects?
Yes.
And about how much?
I don't know how much, but yes, save money by having the shared services.
Well, yeah, but we're still paying out of pocket for the services, or are we getting it like free?
So you still pay for the
Nothing's free.
services, but it reduces costs by sharing the costs with other towns. So for some of that, you get revenue out, and for some of it, you take costs off of your books. Depending on which one you're talking about.
And I think, I think that's. Okay, it's a pleasure to come back and see you all. Hope we'll see you all in August. Thank you. Is it just gonna be one meeting in August?
I think it's August 12th.
The 12th?
Mhm.
Okay, thank you.
Well, we might have one more next week.
Yeah, we might have one, which we'll know. Anyone else from the public? Not saying anything, motion to
Clear
bring
the
it back.
room, Dave.
Yeah, I covered all the bases.
Second,
I'll make the move.
I
Need
think
a
motion, I
second.
need a second. Anyone?
We need a second.
Wait, Steve, what did you say? We might have a meeting next week?
We need a second.
Did I close it? Yeah.
Did you say that?
Everybody in favor?
That's good.
Aye.
Okay, moving on to the approval of the minutes, approval of the June 3rd, 2026 minutes.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
And the roll call?
Mr. Bongiovanni,
Yes.
Mr. Falcone.
Yes.
Ms. Johnson.
Yes.
Mr. Kuzic.
Yes.
Ms. Rodriguez.
Yes.
Mr. Taylor.
Yes.
Okay, moving on to the consent agenda, we have the tax collector's report for May of 2026. We have resolution 2026-132, amending the purchasing policy manual. Resolution 2026-133, requesting Governor Mikey Sherrill to restore full funding to New Jersey School of Conservation. And 2026-134, supporting Bill 4860, fairness for the school districts in developmental redistricted areas.
I'd like to move 132 and 134 to the regular agenda, please. If anything doing with money, it should be on the regular agenda, and then 34 to the regular, please.
Is everybody good with that?
Sure.
And then,
Okay, so for the consent agenda, you're voting on the tax collector's report and resolution 132.
Make the motion.
I'll second.
132 or
133.
133?
133. Thanks, babe.
Don't make the motion.
You need a second?
I'll second it.
Oh, okay.
And the roll call?
Mr. Bongiovanni,
Yes.
Mr. Falcone.
Yes.
Ms. Johnson.
yes.
Mr. Kuzic.
Yes.
Ms. Rodriguez.
Yes.
Mr. Taylor.
Yes.
Resolution 2026-132, amending the purchasing policy manual.
Make the motion.
I'll second it.
We just have a discussion just because I don't know if anybody else received what I received today from you?
Everybody did
Okay, so
Yeah.
the threshold went up from
44 to 53.
40.
You've already
You already
approved,
voted on it.
you've already, back in,
So then why do we have to do it again?
Because
we,
this is amending the.
amending the
personnel
policy, our internal policy to reflect the state change. We never did that. You guys accepted the bid threshold back before I got here. Our policies never were updated. I'm just making our policies align with everything else.
So we have a motion and a second, roll call.
Mr. Bongiovanni.
Yes.
Mr. Falcone.
Yes.
Ms. Johnson.
Yes.
Mr. Kuzic.
Yeah.
Ms. Rodriguez.
Yes.
Mr. Taylor.
Yes.
Moving on to 134, supporting bill 4860, Fairness for the School Districts and Development Restricted Areas Act.
Motion.
Second.
Do we have the numbers that are supposed to go in these blank spots? Resolution has blank spots in it. Is everybody else is filled in?
Okay.
No, mine's blank.
So this we got from Mike. So
I'm sorry.
So our attorney, Mike Lavery, prepared this, so we can't expect Wade to answer that for Mike. So if you're comfortable, we can just hold it to the next meeting if that's what you're comfortable with.
So I'll make a motion to table to the next meeting.
I'll second the motion to table it for next meeting. Can we do that? Or do we have to do that?
No, you can table it, yeah.
Did see with numbers excellent. Okay. So we're moving on to the
We have to roll call this thing.
Yeah, there should be a vote. There was not a vote. Motion second, yeah.
roll call for tabling.
Mr. Bongiovanni.
Yes.
Mr. Falcone.
Yes.
Ms. Johnson.
Yes.
Mr. Kuzic.
Yes.
Ms. Rodriguez.
Yes.
Mr. Taylor.
Yes.
Okay. We're moving on to the final reading ordinance of 13-26. This was moved because we have to do this first before we do the budget, and the budget is next. So that's why this was moved on the agenda the way that it was. So moving on to the final reading of ordinance 13-2026, calendar year 2026 ordinance to exceed the municipal budget appropriation limits and to establish the cap bank. Can I have a motion to open to the public?
So
I'll make the
made.
motion.
Second.
All those in favor?
Okay.
So this is open to the public for this ordinance reading and this ordinance reading alone. Does anybody have a comment? Not seeing anything, motion to bring it back.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
And then can I have a motion for the final reading of ordinance 13-2026?
I'll make the motion.
Second.
And the roll call?
Mr. Bongiovanni.
Yes.
Mr. Falcone.
Yes.
Ms. Johnson.
Yes.
Mr. Kuzic.
Yes.
Ms. Rodriguez.
Yes.
Mr. Taylor.
Yes.
Thank you. And this is where we're doing resolution 146 first, right?
It's an emergency.
Okay, so we're doing resolution 2026-146, the resolution to cancel the deferred charge emergency appropriations to increase Departments of Public Works salaries and wages and other expenses. It wasn't in your packet, it was on the dais.
Motion.
This one.
Second, is there a second?
Second.
And the roll call?
Mr. Bongiovanni.
Yes.
Mr. Falcone.
Yes.
Ms. Johnson.
Yes.
Mr. Kuzic.
Yes.
Ms. Rodriguez.
Yes.
Mr. Taylor.
Yes.
And moving on to adoption of the 2026 municipal budget resolution 2026-135, but we're not adopting the budget. correct?
Still have a hearing.
Still have to have a hearing. Do you want to take over for that?
You want me to explain everything that? Or just the part that we're just,
Just the part that we're doing,
Okay.
because I think it's probably a little confusing for everyone.
okay, so there has to be a change to the budget that requires, that requires you to do an amendment. That amendment is such that it needs to be advertised and have a hearing on it. So legally, we have to follow the procedure. We said at the introduction, we were going to have a hearing tonight on the budget, so we're gonna have a hearing tonight on the budget. We're gonna close the hearing and then we are going to introduce the resolution to amend the budget and vote to approve that, and then we will advertise that tomorrow, and at the next meeting, we will vote to have a hearing on the amendment. Vote to approve the amendment, vote to approve the amended budget.
Is that the meeting that's potentially taking place?
We gotta create one.
Okay, so we have to have a meeting in between our next meeting?
No, we don't have to wait 28 days for this.
So the only time period that you need is that amendment needs to be advertised for 3 days. So the earliest you could do the next meeting to adopt the budget would be Tuesday of,
So we're only voting on the amendment today.
yes, the only vote taking place is just on the amendment only.
And what's the amendment?
So the amendment is part of what the resolution that you just heard about there. There was an emergency resolution done in November of 2025. That was done for the water utility, but the way the resolution was written, it was done, the emergency resolution was done for the current fund. So it's a fund basis of accounting. So when we did the budget, prepared the budget based on the resolution being in the water utility, it was funding the deferred charge for that emergency. The emergency actually is in the current fund. So what we had to do was do the resolution that you just did to cancel that emergency because it wasn't in the proper fund. And what happens is because you take that emergency away in the water utility fund, it creates a over expenditure. So the accounting for an over expenditure, to fund an over expenditure, and the accounting to fund a deferred charge emergency are exactly the same, but the line items are different. So the $2,000, but the line items are significantly different. One item goes from 162,000 to zero. The other one goes from 0 to 159,831, I think is the number. So that would, so substantially, there's a $2,000 change in the budget, but because those numbers are so big and fluctuating, that would be the change.
And we
that
are in
would
a
take place in
budget
the-
review. Can you just,
Right, so
explain that?
the state is requiring you to do this as well.
So this was another thing that the state caught on their review from the
Yeah.
last time.
Yes.
I don't think it's necessarily caught, something they didn't like, because we had no trouble when we originally put it through. It's just now it's an issue.
So, and if I heard you correctly, this stems from an accounting error with funds being in the wrong account?
The simplest way to put it, yes.
Okay.
And this is the, only because I recognize the number of the $137,000. This was the Cornell,
Right, so
it was Cornell Way, right?
right, so
We set the emergency
there
appropriation.
was a emergency water main break. There wasn't enough money in the budget to
Right.
fix it. The emergency was done in order to afford to be able to fix it,
Right.
except it just was not done in the correct fund. So initially, the state wanted you to both fund they wanted you to fund the water main break out of taxation because that's where the emergency appropriation was done. I was able to convince them that that would not be appropriate for the current fund taxation to pay for a water main break, and was able to convince them of the scenario that we are in now tonight by amending the budget.
So
Very good.
potentially with the two errors that we had, right? The budget could theoretically have already been passed. And
No, because they didn't do their full review on the first introduced budget, because once they got to the COLA ordinance and saw that it was not, procedure wasn't followed,
They
Right,
kicked it back.
they basically said, start over, and I said, could you let us know if there's anything else that we need to change? And they said, no, you have to go through the process. So
that's what I mean. So the first error delayed the process. Now we're in a second, so. And this is not a question for you, right? But the two delays now will impact any type of construction or work that needs to be done up into.
Until.
Until next week.
Whenever we create the meeting for next week to approve the budget.
Right, but then we have to go out to bid and.
No,
do it.
we're out
We're
to
in-
bid,
we're out to
we're out to bid
already.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
So when the budget gets passed, work gets done.
Yes.
It's unfortunate that. I mean, two errors, right? I think we need to clean that up.
Oh,
Is this a common issue in other
this
municipalities?
is the first time I've ever seen it.
me too.
Awesome. Great. Thanks, Ray.
Other OPAC on stamp. Thanks, Ray.
Just being honest.
Great.
So I'll be here to help through the process, but open the meeting to the public for the hearing, close the meeting to the public,
Okay,
vote on the resolution.
okay. So can I have a motion to open to the public?
So made.
All those in favor?
Aye.
So the meeting is open for the resolution 2026-135 municipal budget. Does anybody have a comment?
Lynn Ritchie. How do we make two errors that the state snagged us on? And the only ones that our auditor has ever encountered. Who's the accountability fall to? Finance committee, borough administrator, mayor, entire council. Where does this fall? That there's two errors on our budget that the auditor has never experienced in his years. And we're still sitting here July with an unapproved budget. With projects that need to be done when the budget gets approved. So now we're gonna have another meeting next week to approve a budget. I have a well, I'm not paying for your main water breakage. No one pays when my well breaks. So for the state to say a taxation on the people should pay it, thank you, Ray, for standing up for us and saying no. But where does this lay as far as blame goes? Who is accountable for two errors, not one, but two errors, embarrassing our borough to the state to pick this up? I mean, enough. This isn't kindergarten. This is a borough and a council, and you're managing millions of dollars, billions of dollars of borough money, and the state snags us on two errors. That's unexcusable. Unexcusable. And I think that's an embarrassment to me, who lives in this community, that the state is flagging us, the first borough ever, maybe, on two errors. Somebody needs to stand up and take accountability for these errors and stop passing the buck around and stop raising our taxes 10% and saying, oh, well, that's the best we can do, when we're an embarrassment to the state of New Jersey.
You're right. Are there any fines associated with this?
Well, none that have been assessed.
But there could potentially be. You don't have to answer that.
I don't think so.
Okay.
Anyone else?
Mike G, I'm a 20-year resident of DuPont Freeway. And this is in regards to Bell Avenue. I understand that there was a water main break over there and the road's been closed. What I don't understand is why it's still closed. And,
I'm sorry, this is for the budget.
Just
but
for the
this has to
budget.
do with the budget,
Okay.
right? You need
As
money to
long-
pay for that, right?
Okay, as long as you get
Okay,
the
just want to be
budget.
clear. So I'm not sure why the road is still closed. I'm assuming that these two mistakes that this young woman was just speaking about are partly to do with that. So what's the feasible time for Bell to be reopened? That's my first question.
When we get the bid specs back and we open the bids, we'll get a timeline for the implementation.
1 month, 2 month, 3 month, next
would-
year. That being said, you closed the road, you directed all of the traffic to my little niche of the town, and you did nothing about safety. I mean, this is literally a speedway right now. Our neighbors are putting cones to separate the road on Ford, so people stay on the left and the right. Not sure how familiar you are with the roads up here, but they're single lane roads. And you've literally, I think it would have been a better suggestion to close Bell completely and send people on major roads versus directing all that traffic to my little neighborhood. So, I mean, I've seen the police there maybe once since the road's been closed. But there's no signs that say go slow, kids at play. My kids are all adults now, but my neighbors, Joe has children. All of our other neighbors have children. But there's nothing done for safety for our neighborhood, and that concerns me.
I'm certainly gonna reach out to the police department tomorrow because I do know that they have a patrol that goes out there on a daily basis.
But they're not there all the time.
They're not
So, I
there all the
mean,
time, but not having things for safety and cones, that's unacceptable.
Yeah, I mean, there's literally
So-
one cone in the middle of the road, and our neighbors, I believe they've forced our neighbors to remove their cones that they put to divide the road.
Well, we certainly
Sign that
want to
says slow
look into
down
that.
or something.
No,
Right? There's
you're
a-
right. If that's the
right.
case, we certainly want to look
And
into
the third
that.
piece of that is, as a 20+ year resident of that neighborhood, turning in off of Bell, you used to be able to see Ford, right? So now it's a blind turn because there's a tree literally a foot off of the road that's blocking the view, which makes it even more dangerous when these cars come speeding around because they're not familiar with the road. So to me, that's a town responsibility. I know that I can't plant a tree right next to the road on my property.
You're right. Well, we don't do safety. That's why we have the police to do it. So that's why tomorrow morning or tonight, we're going to reach out to them to bring all of these concerns up to them.
Okay, so I'll be back next week or the next meeting, just to hold you accountable to that. Okay,
No problem.
thank you.
And Mike, good question on the tree, right? Like, I don't know if anybody can answer this from a zoning perspective, right? But if we could maybe have Mr. Donegan look into the ordinance that outlines how far foliage have to be from your property to the street, would be helpful too.
Establish where the right of
I
way.
know,
Yeah, there's,
I know in most towns it's 10 feet.
That's what I think it is here.
yeah, there's also the right of way usually goes beyond the roadway into the property, and that's township property. Well, township can maintain that and keep it clear.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, I mean, you can park wherever you want in this town. So when cars park on that road, that makes it even more dangerous. So now they're zipping over this side and it's a disaster. I work from home, so I see this all day and I'm waiting. So next meeting, I'll be back.
Thank you. Anyone else in reference to the budget? Not seeing anything. Motion to bring it back.
So made.
And now we're just passing just 2026, 135.
I'll make the motion.
Yes, for the resolution, we need the date of the
The new meeting.
new meeting, yes.
Okay. So we just need to see what availability everybody has for sometime next week then. Tuesday is the earliest that we can do it. Is everybody available Tuesday or Wednesday or Thursday?
Available Tuesday.
You guys have ranges
We're gonna make it earlier than that, so.
Well, we can do it for like 6 o'clock.
I'm available Tuesday.
That's next Tuesday?
Mhm.
So the 21st?
21st.
At 6 o'clock. You can be here from the city at 6 o'clock.
If not, I'll zoom in.
Okay.
I'll pick you up.
I'll
So
pick up
Tuesday at
the
6?
4th.
So July 21 at 6 p.m.
So we should have a motion setting that date, and then we can do resolution 2026.
Okay, so can I have a motion to set the date for a council meeting for July 21st at 6 p.m.
I'll make the motion. Second.
and the roll call?
Mr. Bongiovanni,
Yes.
Mr. Falcone.
Yes.
Ms. Johnson.
Yes.
Mr. Kuzic.
Yes.
Ms. Rodriguez.
Yes.
Mr. Taylor.
Yes.
And then we just need a resolution to pass 2026-135 and to amend the budget.
I'll make the motion.
So,
I'll second.
we're
just amending.
Not adopting the amended budget, but you're adopting the resolution for the amended budget.
We amended the budget with the two resolutions, so you're adopting the resolution to pass the amended budget.
No.
No.
Not to
No,
pass
yeah.
it, to
amend the budget.
amend the
To
budget.
amend the budget.
I think I had it right.
I know professionals are confused just as much.
You have no idea.
We have a motion, a second?
No, not yet.
Can I have a motion?
I made the motion.
Jonathan,
Anthony second.
second. And the roll call?
Mr. Bongiovanni.
Yes.
Mr. Falcone.
Yes.
Ms. Johnson.
abstain.
Mr. Kusvik.
Yes.
Ms. Rodriguez.
Yes.
Mr. Taylor.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you, Ray.
We're done?
No. Do we have to go to one-
Yeah, yeah.
We have what?
do we have to go to 147? I'm so confused.
No, we did 147 already.
Yep.
She's good. Okay, moving on to 2026-136, the refund tax overpayment and cancel future taxes for block 40409, lot 8.
Motion.
And the roll call?
Mr. Bongiovanni.
Yes.
Mr. Falcone.
Yes.
Ms. Johnson.
Yes.
Mr. Kusvik.
Yeah.
Ms. Rodriguez.
Yes.
Mr. Taylor.
Yes.
You, 2026-137, authorizing an agreement with Mariners Point to provide essential statutory services. Tabled reso from 2026-130.
Motion.
Second.
And the roll call?
Mr. Bongiovanni.
Yes.
Mr. Falcone.
Yes.
Ms. Johnson.
Yes.
Mr. Kusvik.
Yes.
Ms. Rodriguez.
Yes.
Mr. Taylor.
Yes.
Thank you. 2026-138, awarding the contract for municipal parking resurfacing.
Motion.
Second.
We discussed this.
Sure.
So we just got through talking about how we can't do anything or spend any money because we're keeping the lights on while we have a temporary budget and a cap bank and the whole thing. And now we're setting aside $154,000 so that we can, now we just happen to find $154,000 to pave 2 parking lots rather than fix the truck that's been sitting over at 3 that Steve talked about before. I don't understand why this is so important, more important than something else that we could be doing with this $154,000.
Do you want to answer that, Sean?
Yes, this is old ordinances for paving that it's been on the books for a while and it's dedicated to paving. We'd have to change the ordinance. We'd have to change a lot of different things to appropriate that money to something else. We picked the parking lots because all the liabilities that we have in our parking lots from trips and falls. We've had injuries in our parking lots, both here and the senior center. It creates an enormous amount of liability for the borough in those particular areas. And I don't like talking about it openly now because people think we have big pockets and then when you walk out here, you're going to trip over something again. But we have had recorded trip and hazards in the parking lot, both here and particularly at the senior center. I sat on the statewide executive board and I sit on the JIF board, and you would be amazed at the millions of dollars that are paid out for trip hazards due to parking lot inconsistencies and breakages and potholes and et cetera. So that's why we picked these 2 areas to do that.
And then correct me if I'm wrong, no, if this is all money that because this has happened before where there's money from different ordinances that's left over and it's sitting there and it's hanging out. We actually have to come up with a new ordinance to respend that money in a different way.
That's if you're going to do it for something different. That's why I splayed that up front. If you want to take money from paving and go buy a truck, you got to change that ordinance. All these ordinances were paving ordinances in the previous paving ordinance, so we kept it in the same category as paving.
And they absolutely have to be done.
So this is a couple years into making, what you say?
Some of these ordinances going back to 2019, 2017, it's ordinances that were left over from paving.
Because I do agree with the liability of it, and I know some areas are worse than others, but I'm kind of in hardship to we're paving versus like a hardcore repair on the equipment. So it's kind of catch-22, so.
Well, not really, because in all honesty, once the budget passes, you don't have that anymore.
No, I get that, but
Well, I think
You're talking a few days to be able to pass it. And again, this is something that has been, brought to our attention because of the trips and falls that we have had in the parking lot, and it becomes a safety issue. It's a huge, huge safety issue. Would we love to allot the money to go to somewhere else? Yes, but after a while, you still have to end up having to pave these two areas, especially the senior center needs to be lined, and you have issues with the handicap parking area that is the worst area up there where the most falls are happening. And it just, it was a very good
We
idea.
have several parking areas in the borough that need this, and this is the top two that get the most traffic and have the most issues with it. The DPW area over there is disastrous, and we have people there at the end of the month at the farmer's market. We got Vets Field that we want to do, but I didn't want to recommend that because they're using it as a construction site right now.
Yeah.
So as soon as they clean that up, that needs to be done as well. There's a lot of these things we need to clean up.
Yeah,
We-
the lighting at the senior center also has to be right, because I don't think it's just the pavement, I think it's the lack of sight.
We can open up a
Well, that
whole
would
bunch
be
of work
either-
here.
I stayed for $154,000. I'm sure that there were roads that look way worse than our parking lot at senior center and the
I'm
municipal.
not
building that
looking
could
about
probably be
how they
paved as
look.
well.
I'm talking about the hazards of them and the liability of it. If you don't want to pass this and continue to have that liability, that's up on you guys. I'm just recommending this because of.
Motion in a second.
Always
We just-
discussion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all I'm.
Yeah, I mean, I hear what you guys are saying, but the parking lot here is horrific and I've
I
been,
just think that this is
no, the
really,
timing is
the
not.
timing really is
The
very.
the optics are not great.
Well, the timing came up. Why did the timing come up, Ron?
Yeah.
Timing came up because they came out to do Flora and we were talking about possibly doing the two parking lots. And Tilcon offered us a almost $30,000 savings to do the two parking lots the same day he's doing Flora. So we're actually saving $30,000 on the two parking lots.
That's right.
Oh, the $20,000 remobilization. thing with the
Remobilization, we're
people,
only getting
right,
one
okay.
remobilization,
Got it.
so we got that off the book. So we saved $20,000 in the mix of that because they
Mhm.
bring the equipment here once.
Yes,
So.
perfect.
Okay, roll call.
Mr. Bongiovanni,
Yes.
Mr. Falcone.
Yes,
Ms. Johnson,
No,
Mr. Kukovic,
Dun-dun-dun.
No.
Ms. Rodriguez,
No,
Mr. Taylor.
Yes.
That's a tie.
I'm gonna vote yes. Thank you. Moving on to 2026-139, authorizing a change order with PM Construction for emergency water repairs. I have a motion.
Make the motion.
I'll second.
we have a discussion about this.
Oh, sure.
Sure.
I'm sorry,
No need to apologize.
sorry. This was the change, there's a change order, correct, Ron?
Yes.
So this was done in October of 25, and I know you weren't here. This is not on you for this, but I don't understand how, and I understood your explanation of it. It was due to the emergency repair, but I got that, but I don't understand why it wasn't brought, the change order wasn't brought in front of the council. It's almost a year later. We're like 8 months out now. We're brought the change order. I don't understand why, how it went over by almost $40,000.
So we have something in Hopatcon called ROC. So when they were doing the. I'm just giving you the explanation though.
Stop the sarcasm.
No sarcasm, this is the
The
explanation.
change order, when these things come up and
I'll
they
wait till you
do,
Finish.
they're done and brought. This is 8 months later and it's costing us $40,000. Again, you guys are talking about keeping the lights on and paying the salaries, but there was a change order from 8 months ago for $40,000. It's like a big surprise. Why is it a surprise?
Well, once the project is completed, and like I said, I wasn't here. I don't know what the timing was for the closing of that. And the contractor finally did his final billing and all that. I don't know when it hit. It was supposed to be on the last meeting. It didn't make it. So as soon as I got the change order, we found the money to cover it out of the water utility. I put it on the resolution to cover it. Now, what happened in the past, I can't commit. I don't know what happened.
Maybe that's why the answer to my question, like you gave me the best answer you could get because that's what you had because you weren't here when it happened. But like, I just think, I don't want this continuing to happen. This is a problem.
So I'm gonna answer the question. So when we had this project done, John Rushkey was overseeing the project as the engineer because we didn't have an administrator at the time. So he was overseeing this repair personally. They ended up having to have an issue with the rock, and I didn't mean it sarcastically, I just meant we have something in Opakna called rock. When you're in the middle of a contract like that and PM Construction is on the road and the road is being ripped up, there is no stopping because there's extra rock that they're incurring. There are parts in the contract that say if they incur extra rock, they're gonna excavate the rock and it's gonna cost X. There was no way for them to anticipate any of this rock that they saw. There was no way to tell any of it was happening. After it got billed to us, it got billed to us in 2025. We said, we don't have any money. We said, we're gonna have to wait to pay this till the 2026 budget. And they've been waiting for us since 2025 to get paid. There is no surprise. We've just been putting them off. And when 2026 came and Ron came, we sat and had a meeting with him and said, we have to look into getting this paid. They were very kind to us. They came out, they did Cornell Way for us. They did it very quickly and they're waiting on this payment. And that's basically where it came from. But we do have catches in our contracts that will catch things that are exorbitant. But in this situation, because the excavation was taking place, they were not going to stop doing the water line just because they were excavating all of the rock. It just so happened that that's what they had. So it wasn't anything that they did that was a nefarious thing from a PM Construction perspective. It wasn't that watching the project, he was conscious of what was happening and was documenting what was happening, because you have to. He has to know how much rock is coming out. They have to tell him how much rock is coming out. He's on scene. We have our inspectors. So there really was no, I don't want to say surprise that we ended up having to pay for the extra rock removal, because you do. We have to pay for it on that, just because they excavated it.
But Jen, I understand what you're saying. How can we plan for future projects? How can we go out for bid? How can we get quotes on any work to be done because of the rock that is in Hopakon? How can we say, hey guys, this is the project cost? Oh, just kidding. Sorry, because there's so much rock here, it's another 40 grand.
Well, I think
how
it's
do we-
safe.
how do- no, but this, I'm not being fair. This is a genuine question. How can we appropriately plan financially? We are royally screwed this year. What are we saying to the taxpayers? At this point, we should inflate all of our projects 50,000 plus, just to have a safeguard there, to have realistic expectations on what we should be spending. Because again, none of us have a crystal ball. We don't know. But from a financial perspective, there is no cushion there on the cost that we're.
This is also
I
not
think this
brand new
was-
information that we're built into ledge rock. Like, look at the sewer project where we went over $59 million.
Correct me if I'm wrong. This was an emergency appropriation, right? So it
Correct.
wasn't a planned project. The planned
Correct.
project has a certain amount of due diligence, so they're going to look to see what kind of terrain, where there's a lot of rock doing it. So that tends to happen a lot less frequently. And actually, I would imagine in that case, it's the burden of the contractor at that point. But here it's a situation that has to be remedied very, very quickly. The contractor doesn't have the time to really do the soil tests and find out
They
what's
didn't do
there.
any,
just need
they didn't do any.
There are no-
They need to go fix the problem,
Mhm.
and we can't hold them accountable when they don't have the time. They don't have the time to go do the things they need to do to figure out exactly what it's going to cost, because it is an emergency. So, I mean, I get it. It's unfortunate. It does happen, but I just want to make the point. It is different from a project that we planned for.
And even that, when we did the sewers on Hudson, we did core samples all up and down that road, and even at times in between the core samples, we hit rock. So you can do as much due diligence as you want. It just happens.
No, and that's exactly my point, emergency or not.
The emergency, they did not, I'm sure they didn't do any core samples. They said, there it is, go do
Absolutely.
it.
The project.
Just even not, I mean, it's a GC, ask Marvell, they went out of business because they were, they didn't think Hopakon had any rocks. But even further than that, to me, the explanation was we didn't have an administrator and the engineer was running the project. That's issue number one. And, obviously rock is in Hopakon and it's a legit change order, because I'm sure they're not going to blast rock for 2 days and not charge us just because they're nice. And since not having an administrator, and you found out, and we're pushing this bucket down the road, I mean, it's unfortunate, but.
And if you look at our track record, though, from any of the projects we have, we're not overboard on any of the projects. Like, this is one of the very few that you've seen probably in the last 2 or 3 years where this has happened like this. And again, it was an emergency repair that was being done, and it is part of the contract that we're responsible for. It's not like they're just handing us a bill. There is a contract that we are responsible
So
for.
Ron, since you got hired in January, right, or December?
January 12th.
January 12th.
You know about this like event and you knew about it, so you agree?
I
with
knew,
that?
I knew you had an emergency, water back in 25.
So it's not like a contractor made a mistake for
No,
billing
no.
and then all of a sudden, like comes up, well, that's shame on him then.
No, the engineer brought it to my notes, so we just got the final billing from the engineer, there's a change order, they hit more debris, rock, et cetera, more labor, time, and materials were added to the cost to get around it. So it was appropriate to me, the engineer certified it, I wasn't here to see the whole Doug, but I trust John Rusky, I can tell you that, one of the better ones there. Agreed.
Roll call.
Mr. Bongiovanni,
Yes.
Mr. Falcone.
Yes.
Ms. Johnson,
No.
Mr. Kuskovic, Ms. Rodriguez,
Yep.
and Mr. Taylor.
Yes.
Thank you. 2026-140, authorizing contract through Morris County Cooperative Pricing Council for tree services. Motion?
Motion.
Second,
I'll second it.
and the roll call.
Mr. Bongiovanni,
Yes.
Mr. Falcone.
Yes.
Ms. Johnson,
Yes.
Mr. Kuskovic,
Yes.
Ms. Rodriguez.
Yes.
Mr. Taylor.
Yes.
Thank you. 2026-141, approving the refund of the construction permit overpayment.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second it.
Okay, and the roll call.
Mr. Bongiovanni,
Yes.
Mr. Falcone.
Yes.
Ms. Johnson,
Yes.
Mr. Kuskovic,
Yes.
Ms. Rodriguez.
Yes.
Mr. Taylor.
Yes.
Thank you. 2026-142, approve the promotion of K brand to water sewer repair.
Second.
And the roll call.
Mr. Bongiovanni,
Yes.
Mr. Falcone.
Yes.
Ms. Johnson.
Yes.
Mr. Kuskovic,
Yes.
Ms. Rodriguez.
Yes.
Mr. Taylor.
Yes.
2026-143, approve the promotion of Jay McCarthy to senior public works repairer.
Second.
And the roll call.
Mr. Bongiovanni,
Yes.
Mr. Falcone.
Yes.
Ms. Johnson.
Yes.
Mr. Kuskovic.
Yes.
Ms. Rodriguez.
Yes.
Mr. Taylor.
Yes.
Thank you. 2026-144, approve the hiring of laborer 2.
I have a question, Mayor, is the approving of the laborer 2 tied into the promotion of Jay McCarthy?
Mhm.
It is? Okay, thank you.
So it's like Jay McCarthy got promoted and then Kenneth got promoted, so then the laborer 2 got promoted. That's how I followed it anyway.
Well, but no, this laborer 2 is a hire, right? A new hire?
To approve the hiring.
Okay, thank you.
And we still have.
I was gonna say, I know we're very, very thin.
What this did was move the stack and we filled the bottom and we got a lot of bottom to fill.
Okay, cool.
Okay, the roll call.
I need a motion in a second.
Oh, motion in a second.
Make a motion.
I thought you did. Second.
And the roll call.
Mr. Bongiovanni,
Yes.
Mr.
Yes,
Falcone.
yes, sorry.
Ms. Johnson.
Yes.
Mr. Kuskovic.
Yes.
Ms. Rodriguez.
Yes.
Mr. Taylor.
Yes.
Thank you. Moving on to the bill list, 2026-145.
Motion.
And the roll call.
Mr. Bongiovanni,
Yes.
Mr. Falcone.
Yes.
Ms. Johnson.
I have a bunch of bills that I need taken out to vote no on. 25-019, oh, you tell me when you're ready.
Go ahead.
25-01956, 26-00660, 26-00663, 26, I'm going too fast, let me just slow down, Shauna, please. 26-00902, 26-01018. I have 26-01076, 82, 26-01082, 26-01198. Then I have 01135, 01193, 01194, 01140, 01158, 01197.
Do you want a discussion on all those or you're just pulling those?
We can, I emailed my questions, I didn't get any answers, so I want to abstain on those.
Okay.
The last one, I'm sorry, Jen, was 1197?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
So
Sorry.
we have a motion and a second, for the bill list. right?
Mhm.
Roll call.
Mr. Bongiovanni,
Yes.
Mr. Falcone.
And this is for the ones that Jen didn't pull, or these are the
This is
Jen,
the
Well, this is the whole bill.
The whole bill.
That we're voting on.
and Jen is just,
abstaining
I
from
thought the way
those.
we discussed it. beginning of the
Yeah,
year,
right.
You don't vote on the bill list unless you wanna take it out individually, so you say yes minus these bills, just like Jen did.
okay,
Jen
So
voting
if you
yes
have any
minus
issues-
these.
You just vote on the bill list.
so yes, minus the ones that Jen raised as well.
Ms. Johnson,
Yes, and then, yeah, so we got.
Mr. Kukovic,
Yes.
Ms. Rodriguez.
Say them again. No, I'm kidding.
Don't do that to me.
I'm gonna copy. Yes, minus,
Pivot.
Okay,
ditto, whatever.
Mr. Taylor.
Yes.
Thank you. Moving on to ordinances, the introduction 15-2026, an ordinance of the Borough of Paccon, County of Sussex, State of New Jersey, authorizing the sale of certain property owned by the borough, not required for public purposes, and more commonly known as Block 10414, Lot
Mayor.
3.
I'm sorry, but on the ones that were pulled, there does need to be a tie break for those ones.
Okay, so I will break the tie for those.
Cause there were,
I don't explain
Yeah.
it. It's okay.
Okay, I'll break the tie for those. Do you want me to reread the ordinance?
No, you have to say, I think you have to
It's
say
the
yes,
bill
and
list.
then how you're breaking, because.
I'm breaking the tie for the bill list,
in favor.
In which favor?
I,
not minus those
Okay.
numbers.
for all.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Keep this to normal. Okay, ordinance 15-2026, an ordinance of the Borough of Paccon, County of Sussex, State of New Jersey, authorizing the sale of certain property owned by the borough and not required for public purposes, and more commonly known as Block 10414, Lot 3. Motion
I'll second it.
on the roll call?
Mr. Bongiovanni,
Yes.
Mr. Falcone,
Yes.
Ms. Johnson.
Yes.
Mr. Kukovic.
Yes.
Ms. Rodriguez.
Yes,
Mr. Taylor.
Yes.
Thank you.
And then we have the bond ordinance there, right? So, ordinance 16202026, bond ordinance providing for various 2026 capital improvements by and in the Borough of Paccon and the County of Sussex, State of New Jersey, the borough appropriating $1,109,000.
Will we carrying that to
Right.
adopt the budget at the next hearing?
Ray said we could do it tonight if we
You
wanted
did
to.
say we
Yep.
can do it? Okay,
Yeah.
alright. Sorry.
To all get that all out of the way, and all we have left is the budget.
Right. Therefore, in authorizing the issuance of 994,175,000 bonds or notes of the borough to finance part of the costs thereof. Okay. Second,
I'll second it.
Question?
sure.
Do we have, it says various 2026 capital improvements, do we have these earmarked for any capital improvements for this year? They are there, thank you.
Yes. And the roll call?
Mr. Bongiovanni,
Yes.
Mr. Falcone,
Yes.
Ms. Johnson.
Yes.
Mr. Kukovic.
Yes.
Ms. Rodriguez.
Yes.
Mr. Taylor.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Ray, thanks you. Moving on to old business, the cannabis update. Do you want to do that, Ron?
Just an update from the land use board. The land use board, in old business last week, well, 2 weeks ago, whenever the land use board was, made a vote and a recommendation to the council to put a question on the ballot for the November, election for the public to vote on the acceptance of retail manufacturing, et cetera, for cannabis in the borough of Paccon. That has been sent to the attorney to draft the question, and that will be back to us to be able to approve by the 12th, because it's got to get to the clerk by the 15th.
Cool.
That's the
What other work have we done in parallel to
the
that?
parallel that we started to, the board started talking about distances, offset distances, sensitive spots and stuff of that nature. That work was still kind of drilling around, but the important thing was to get that notion to the board, to get that activity for the question going first. That was the.
But I think that the recommendation of this governing body was that we were gonna work in tandem with those two things.
But it's gotta go
Yes.
through the board first. I mean, the land use board has gotta bless it first, so that,
Well,
they started that process as soon as they met. We met.
we don't have to, we don't have to do that, right? The council can overrule that, putting it on the ballot at all. That's
You could.
right. So what are they doing in tandem to put this on the ballot? Because that was the direction that the governing body gave. To put it
All I
on
know
the
is the
ballot. You're
board,
working in
I can't
tandem.
speak for the entire board. I know what the motion was and what they voted on. I'm reporting on that. And that was that they wanted to have the motion go on the ballot, get it written and getting on the ballot by November, and we had to get it to them by August 15th. That was all that happened in that meeting.
I have a question for our lawyer, and I'm not sure if you could answer this, counsel, but I'm still confused on the role of land use. So if you could explain it to me maybe one more time, and hopefully I'll remember, but does the council, I don't know if this is a yes or no answer, but does the council have to wait for anything from the land use board at this time in order to progress and getting everything done so we can move forward with this? Because I think we're about a year and a half past due now.
So as I recall, the last thing, and again, I have not been here in a few meetings, so I don't know exactly what has happened. I recall last time I was here that it was getting referred to the land use board for addressing the master plan, correct?
Yes.
And has that been done, or has there been amendment to the master plan or anything?
Absolutely not.
Okay, so right now, so the planning board controls master plan. The governing body, and that's kind of their purview. Their purview is to control the planning and master plan of the township. The governing body can adopt zoning ordinances to do different things in the township. They should be inconsistent with the master plan. They can be adopted inconsistent with the master plan. So when you adopt a zoning ordinance, it gets referred to the planning board. Its first reading gets referred to the zoning board for consistency review. They indicate whether it's not consistent or not consistent with the master plan. It gets sent back. Yep.
Interrupt you 1 second. Have we done that?
So no.
Okay, what do we need to do that?
We need to draft an ordinance.
So there could be an ordinance.
Okay.
It would need to be. This is the process.
Yeah, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I'm
No,
trying
yeah.
to put all the pieces together.
So there's an ordinance gets sent to for consistency review. The board says it's inconsistent or consistent with the master plan, gets referred back to the governing body for second reading. If it's inconsistent with the master plan, which I believe it would be in this town, I haven't looked at the master plan, but I believe it is inconsistent with the master plan. You can adopt it inconsistent with the master plan if you have special zoning reasons stated in the resolution why you're adopting an ordinance inconsistent with the master plan. It needs to be done by. Is it a supermajority? A supermajority of the governing body.
What's considered a supermajority?
2/3.
2/3.
Yeah, 4/6.
Two-thirds.
So yeah, multiply by 2.
My bad.
So that's the process.
Okay.
So you're swimming. My recommendation would always be that unless you have to do something that's inconsistent with the master plan, go through the process, look at the master plan, change the master plan, and then adopt an ordinance that's consistent with the master plan. That's just good practice.
But I guess what you're saying is because has been no change in the master plan, if we wrote an ordinance, it would be inconsistent with the master plan.
Correct.
That's correct.
And we need the zoning
Land use board.
land use board to change the master plan.
Right, and they're
Do a-
saying that
a
they have never
re-examine.
revised a master plan, so they don't know what they're doing, although our master planner has revised a master plan, and so has, I'm sure, our land use board attorney
Okay.
revised a master plan. He's been a land use board, he's like. We've been around for.
So Ron, so
Design.
our understanding is, so is the land use board waiting to see what the results are of this election, or so?
That's the indication I got.
Okay,
That's
so
not what
that,
I'm waiting for.
correct, so that seems to be that's like Jen was saying, in tandem, so we will work towards getting the referendum question with the attorney onto the ballot, but while that's in process, the other things need to happen, because as I think it's been verified, this council can override.
So we can start drafting a campus ordinance is where we are.
Right.
We're gonna start doing that.
And see how consistent we can stay with the master plan.
Yeah, but I know
Let's do that.
you've requested several
Several.
ordinance committee meetings, and
Yeah.
they haven't taken place, so what assurances do we have that if a meeting is requested, that it'll be responded to?
Do you need an ordinance committee meeting to write an ordinance?
Apparently,
Who's on the ordinance committee?
myself, Jennifer, the mayor, and the administrator.
Okay, let's set a date. Just like we did with the July 21st meeting.
Perfect.
What's good for you, Ron?
Tell me when you wanna do it.
Jen?
Tuesday morning's bad, Tuesday afternoon's bad, Tuesday night is bad.
So Tuesday is out.
So can you
Anything
guys
around
meet on Monday, the 20th,
Let's do Wednesday.
Wednesday, the 22nd?
22nd?
What time?
Do we wanna do Zoom, in person, what are we doing?
Whatever's.
Well, we
easiest.
can figure that out as we go, as long as it's gonna be Wednesday, the 22nd.
What time?
How about 10 o'clock?
Perfect. Jen,
Perfect.
Or then that's an
You said
ordinary.
10 a.m.
10 o'clock in the morning?
10 o'clock in the morning. Yeah.
listen, I'm
Morning,
down for
please.
both.
Does that work for you, Ron?
Thank you.
All right. Next.
Okay, moving on to short-term rentals. So,
But
so the interesting thing with, thank you, Steve.
Mhm.
The interesting thing with short-term rental is, we had quite a few people at our last meeting, that were talking to us in reference to the ordinance that we wrote about the owner of the property being on the property and a management company being on the property. And it's funny because during the meeting, Ron and I kept looking kind of sort of at each other because, we were listening to what the public was talking about, and we were listening to what was being said on the dais, but we were almost positive that that wasn't in the ordinance. So somehow the public had the ability to see something that we had spoken about previously or drafted earlier, because the final ordinance that you all voted on doesn't have that in it whatsoever.
Have what in
Did you
it?
check the original ordinance?
The ordinance that you passed, though,
Yeah.
does not have it in it.
That we passed, but do you remember, I thought that, okay, so
So what you passed, there's no need to alter the short-term rentals ordinance in that instance with the owner being on premises or the management being on premises, because that's not in there. Just so that you're aware. However, going through that, we came up with something else.
Timeframe, speaking to the people that are actually trying to level this and document it and chase people for permits and so forth. To me, it seemed like looking at the list, we have people from January till December expiring and applying for the application. So instead of having a whole year of process chasing people down to make sure they comply with the, with the guidelines, we figure we'll set it like a February 15 deadline where all the Airbnb and Opacon has to be permitted. Anything after February 15, you're in violation, you're gonna get a fine. So I mean, it will just make it more easier with the office staff, I believe.
Yes.
do you remember when we first passed the ordinance in 2020 or 2021? I know I'm going back like way far. And then we had to change it.
We've changed it so many times. What I did, Jennifer, I went and wrote the one that's real.
Okay.
And cause I hadn't read that. You changed it since I left.
No,
And I could not find any verbiage in there at all that required the owner to be on the property. So I looked at the mayor and I said, what are we arguing about? I said, it's not in there.
okay, because I remember when it first passed, it said that the owner had to be on the
Yeah,
property.
or
And
the
then some-
property manager,
and
one
then
or the other.
something- And then something happened and we had to change the wording where it
Yeah.
said like an
A
overseer, a property
property, yeah.
manager, a nanny, whatever. It was like a nanny clause in there. So that was completely taken out.
Yep. Because
Well, Mike wrote it, so it's not in there.
it was interesting because the comment was that we got a lot of examples of those types of plans, and Jersey City came to mind, and Shauna came to me and showed the Jersey plan and the one that we have. And it's over 90% of what the Jersey plan is in our. Part of it was that you don't have to be on the property. So I just said, well, I don't know what we have to change because it's not in there.
Yeah, well, why would that come up as a concern if it's not?
Yeah, I don't know where that come from. I really don't.
We had a room full of people
Yeah,
about it, so we don't know where
people
it
that
came
was
from.
mad about it, I can tell you that.
So I think next meeting you guys have, we could just add like
Yeah,
a cutoff
add that to
date,
the-
like either February or whatever,
Yeah.
March as
Yep.
a application deadline.
And the application deadline for that year. So,
Yeah,
and
for that year.
the renewal.
Yeah, so like, let's say February 1st, all applicant needs to be applied, like from January 1st to February 1st. And then anything after that, you're in violation if you haven't pulled a permit.
Got, and then the fine.
Yeah, fine, that's already depicted in the fines in there, right?
Yeah, that was a good one.
And I don't have a vision of my board. When I think of an ordinance, I write it down on my board. I don't know if there's any more out there. We may have to talk about it, not sure.
Very good. Moving on to the gas tax escalator. So at the last meeting, we talked about this and we had a sample. Excuse me, we had a sample that was given to the attorney. And when we talked about it with him, he said he was going to look at it to change it. But when he gave it back to us, all he really did was remove the New Jersey Property Taxpayer Coalition, Borough of Hopatcong has called. He just removed that. So it's back on here for discussion because there were council members that had questions and comments and they were looking for information on whether or not they were interested in passing this. One of the things that was asked was how many towns have already passed it. There is only a handful of, I think it's 12 or 14 towns that have actually passed this. This is not something that's being
20 towns that passed it.
20 towns that have passed it. This is something that's not being asked of us to pass from the 24th legislative district, the 25th legislative district. This is something that's being asked for us to pass by the New Jersey Property Taxpayers Coalition, which is a political action group. If this is something that you're interested in passing, I just wanted to give you my 2 cents. You're aware that tonight we heard about the grant for the 3 streets that we're having being paid through the DOT transportation grant. We get money from the DOT on an annual basis. Usually, sometimes it's 100,000, sometimes it could be 300,000. It's for paving. Nobody likes to pay the gas tax. Nobody likes to pay taxes in the state of New Jersey. I certainly don't, but this is one of the only fair funding things that exists for municipalities so that they can actually get some money back and it goes directly to your streets. It goes directly in. It isn't just Hopatcong people that are paying this, people that are on the Parkway and the Turnpike and whatnot. All of what they're paying is paying for the money that we do receive when we get our grants through the DOTs. So I, for one, if we are going to do something like this, I'm not comfortable doing a resolution like this. Written like this, if we're going to do one, it should really be just our own. We shouldn't be mimicking something from a political action group because all we're really doing is supporting the political action group. And when you read through this, one of the things that's in here, it talks about just removing it. Well, again, a political action group doesn't understand what you have to do in these things. So what if you remove it, then what? Then what happens next? What happens to all of the funding that everybody loses? There's a lot of different pieces to this. And I think before we actually agree to do something, just doing the research that I've done, 20 towns out of 500. There's a lot of municipalities that are not passing this. They're not entertaining it. They don't entertain things from political action groups. I didn't realize it was from a political action group at first till I went through it with the attorney. So those are just my thoughts about the whole thing. I didn't know how everybody else felt. And it's also something, even if it is something that we pass, the likelihood of this actually being repealed, it's never going to happen. It's just never going to happen.
So here's my question. Sorry, Steve, really quick. We had this discussion at length at the last meeting that we have, and the majority of council, after Jen's very thorough explanation, understood this is not about the funding in itself. This is just the way that it's appropriated. The gas tax escalator is not the gas tax itself. So it's putting the accountability on the legislators to make sure that they are voting anytime action is taken to raise or lower the gas tax. And we're not just letting the Department of Treasury just do it willy-nilly without any kind of oversight. That's all this is. This doesn't affect the funding in itself. But where I'm confused is that the majority of this council at the last meeting was assured that the resolution itself would be at the next agenda. Why is it so often that the majority of council decides something to be done, and then single-handedly by one person, it is not done? The governing body spoke, the resolution should be on here. That's when we can have discussion. That's where we can vote. We had the discussion at the last meeting. My question is, why is the resolution not on here after we agreed it would be on this agenda?
And the attorney assured me that we would not have to motion and second and vote.
Why have a governing body?
Well, for starters, that was a decision that I made. I did not have this discussion with anybody at the meeting last time that I just had tonight.
You did.
These are
had those
not to the degree that I did, because I didn't have the research. There were council members that asked for research to be done about this, about the towns. That was never given to us, so I took it upon myself to do the research myself. Whether or not something is on the agenda, off the agenda or whatnot, we're moving forward from that point here. So again, if this is something that the council is interested in doing, again, it's something that I feel that we should have the attorney rewrite so that it affects Hopakon just specifically and not necessarily a political entity or taxpayers association.
No, and we agreed with that. I think we agreed at the last meeting and the attorney was going to change the verbiage so that that portion to be removed.
That's not what happened. That's not what came through.
Okay.
What happened is that we asked the attorney, we asked for this to be put on this agenda. The majority asked for it to be put on the agenda. I was told it was going to be on the agenda and it's not. So this is where I'm having an issue getting something, a resolution on an agenda.
You're not getting
How are we gonna get an ordinance on the agenda?
Jennifer,
This is
you're
where
not having trouble getting a
I am.
resolution on the
We were
agenda?
Told that this resolution would be on this agenda.
Jen, I'm not gonna debate you back and forth. When the resolution came in from the attorney, the only thing he did was cross out the taxpayers
That's
association.
correct. And I
But
said
that's not
that,
what we directed him to do. You're saying he was directed to do something completely different. That's not what came through. He's not here. We can't discuss it with him. Moving forward, if this is something that you want to have on the next agenda, I'm saying, is this something that majority is looking to do, but to alter it in some way so that it's not the Taxpayers Association document? And I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, Anthony. I know you were talking.
No, that's okay. We can finish.
good, so then.
So we spend so much time for something that means nothing to Hopakon, right? And then we wonder how we miss the things that are in the budget money that affects the taxpayer in general in Hopakon. This thing, the way I read up on it, it's just an accelerator, automatic adjustment tax. It's going to happen one way or another, just accountability with when they vote on it, so their name is attached to it. That's all it's going to do. You're not going to decrease the taxes. You're not going to eliminate it. It's just antics. I think we need to refocus on Hopakon here in Hopakon.
This affects your
Yeah.
taxes.
But that's not
It
gonna
affects
change it.
you.
No, that's
It
not gonna
doesn't-
change it. They're going to
Steve.
vote on it anyway.
Steve, I think the point here is bigger than this. Let's go back to when the ICE facility was not even discussed at all and put on the agenda, something that we could never control. But Hopakon at one point in time was going to vote on it because I'm assuming the mayor wanted on the agenda. Now, if Hopakon voted yes or no for the ICE facility, the federal government's gonna come in and put a nice facility wherever they want. I think the same argument can be made here in your purview. This is not going to impact anything. But if we have a councilwoman and a majority of the council wanted it on the agenda and it's not there. I think that's the bigger picture, right? Because while I agree with you on both the ICE thing and this, it doesn't change. But what changes is when certain people want things on an agenda, we can't get it on unless it's certain people who want it on the agenda who can get it on. And until that changes, we can't do exactly what you just said.
Well, I think the agenda problem we have solved. Not here is the problem getting things on the agenda. Now we're talking about resolutions and a resolution wasn't written. Now, I will tell you that I don't recall, and I'm not telling you I'm 100% right, but I don't recall that the majority of the council was in favor of it. I know specifically, I asked two questions: how many towns are doing it? And if it's not the majority of towns are doing it, why not? Because this falls under the adage, don't bite the hand that feeds you, okay?
They don't control the money that comes to the town in the way of grants. The gas tax escalator does not control the money that comes to the town through the grants.
All right.
It makes the legislation vote
Okay,
on the tax.
right.
That is affecting,
All right,
our
so but I
taxes.
did ask the question, why do you think that the majority of the towns are not voting for it? Because that was the question.
I would
had
have to
the
call every
council.
town that.
You don't have to call every town, but you could find out from a few, what is the downside to them? Why are they not voting for it? Because if 20 towns out of 500 are doing it, and over 400 towns, or, almost 500 towns, it might be over 500, are not. I'd love to know the answer as to why not.
I mean, it could be a variety of answers. It could be negligence. It could be they don't know. It could be the same reason why 500 towns aren't voting on ice facilities that we can't control, right? Like there could be certain things
It would
that
be,
go into it. It couldn't just be like, well, 480 think it's bad, but 20 could be ahead of the bell curve.
that could be, that's entirely possible. So if the
But
majority
then
of
if
council
that was
said,
my,
I do
if
it.
that was my question, I would call the towns that didn't pass it, some of the towns that didn't pass it. I would do that research myself if I had that question. Why aren't you passing it? I wouldn't ask me why those towns,
But well, you know,
right? And if I had a question about which towns passed it, I would do that research myself.
yeah, well, unfortunately, that was not at the top of my to-do list.
Well,
So
but that's
it's
fine, but
funny
that
if-
was your question, and I do have the answer to that question, but it wasn't my
I
question.
know, you have the answer as to why the rest of the.
No,
towns
I
aren't
have the
doing it?
towns that,
Yeah, that part I got. but
and
when you
again,
ask the-
it's not my question, it's not my research to do, it's your research to
Okay.
do.
Well, like I said, I've spent a lot of hours and that wasn't at the top of the
We're
list.
all,
so.
Anthony, we're all busy, I'm sure, like I get it, but if I had just like the cannabis stuff, when you guys tasked me with something,
Yes,
that was something that I did.
But Jennifer, in fairness, I asked us, that I will look into that. I did not do it, okay? I appreciate the fact that you looked in and you saw the 20 of 500 do it. I get it. If what you're saying now is I will go do it before the next meeting. I know half a dozen mayors that I could ask that question to, and I'll, if you like, I'll bring it back to the.
So again, bringing it back to what Joe was saying was the bigger issue is that we asked for this to be on this agenda. We asked for it to be on the agenda and it's not even in a form to discuss.
Oh, it's on the agenda.
It's on the agenda under old business for
The
discussion, Jay.
resolution is not on the agenda.
No, the
which is
resolution
what
is
we
not on the agenda.
Which is what we requested.
The
So
the resolution is not on the agenda. You're absolutely correct.
Let's keep it simple. Can we please put it on the next agenda?
Actually, I'm
Can
gonna keep,
I
I'm gonna
make
keep
a-
it.
Can I make a motion to add the gas tax?
I'm sorry, I'm still discussing, Rachel. When I'm ready, I'll ask you for a motion, okay?
Steve, do you want to pull that yellow card out?
Red card.
Thank you.
Good.
Okay, so moving forward with this specific resolution, which again, as Steve says, we take a lot of time doing a lot of things that mean nothing. For starters, Joe, please don't put words in my mouth. There aren't things that get on the agenda because I want them on there. You
Put
specifically,
the ice facility on the agenda. That's not words, that's
I
paper.
did that.
It's black and white.
I did.
Joe,
But you asked and it got
It's
on.
private. I
Jen's been asking and it's not on.
Joe, we're not having this back
I
and
didn't put
forth.
any words in your mouth.
Okay,
It's
don't-
black and white. Don't
Okay.
tell me what
Joe,
to
please
do.
don't put words in my mouth
I
about
didn't-
whether
I didn't
things
put words
get on the agenda or off the
I did
agenda.
not put words in your
When
mouth.
we had this discussion last time, the impression that I was under was we were giving the attorney the ability to write the resolution. When I got the resolution, there was nothing different other than just a name was removed. I wasn't comfortable with that, so I didn't ask him to continue doing a resolution because I didn't know the direction the rest of the council wanted to go.
Well,
Excuse me, I'm not done.
Okay, Kamala.
So as soon as please don't call me Kamala.
Continue. Continue. Are you done?
Excuse me, I'm not done. In the future, when there's a resolution like that comes in from the attorney, I did not want to start calling people and asking people what they said, what they didn't say. I put it on old business so we could have the discussion. This is not something that's critical to the borough of Hopatcong, the state of New Jersey, or the entire universe. There's nothing that stops this from going on to another agenda after we've had an adult discussion about the conversation. And that's exactly what's happening here. I was not comfortable putting it on. I was not comfortable putting it on with it just having one line removed out of it. I wanted more out of it. I didn't have the same impression the attorney had. I obviously didn't have the same impression that Jennifer had. And there is no problem putting anything onto the agenda. And for you to even say that to the public at a public meeting is just disingenuous.
I will say
And it can,
I
and
will
it,
say it until I see change where we can get things. And when I say we, myself, Jennifer and Rachel, who are not the majority, get things on the agenda. What level of research and comfort did you get to put the ice facility on the agenda without consulting the rest of the council that you did the day of the agenda or a couple days before the agenda that you felt comfortable that had nothing to do with Hopatcong? I would like to hear the same response as far as what the diligence that you did, that you felt Steve had a valid point for you to put that on the agenda, but Jennifer's thoroughly researched item did not get on. What's the answer to that?
Joe, I'm not answering.
I know, that's the
I
problem.
think your
You can't
question, sorry,
answer.
your question is ridiculous.
No,
We're
it's
in a-
not ridiculous. And here's the problem. There's nothing that you say that we can trust at this point. And
Joe,
and
not having you
and
sit
it's
here and
evidence-
make
and it's evidence by
statements that
your-
have
by
nothing
your
to do
recent
with what
campaign that you ran,
there.
right? The
Joe,
fact
this
that
has nothing to do with the council meeting.
100%.
excuse me, Mr. Attorney, we're here to conduct business of the borough. You want to say something to me relating to a campaign, relating to something else, you can say it outside of meeting.
No.
We're here
It
to
is-
actually
it is-
talk about
it-
what's happening.
Pattern
in
of
this
your
council
behavior
meeting.
of lies and deceit to the town.
Joe,
of
we're not
Opelika.
going there.
Well, I'm going there.
Joe, we're not going there.
I'm going there. I went there.
Joe, we're not going there.
You have deceived the people of this town.
Joe, you have done exactly the same thing.
Do we have anything else
Let-
to discuss?
Tell me where,
Joe,
tell me
I'm
where I
not-
ran a campaign standing next to Jen and Rachel, and then I stood next to John Young. Tell me when I did that.
Joe, I'm not going there with you. This is ridiculous that you would bring a meeting like this. This is an immature, it's an immature, it's not my character, it's
Can we move on and take action on something?
Yeah, so can I make a motion to add the gas tax escalator, I can't even say it, as a resolution to the next meeting?
I'll motion.
So I will
Wait,
second
in a
your
second?
second.
Yeah, I have, Rachel and Jennifer both.
Okay,
motion.
and the roll call?
Bear with me 1 minute. Mr. Bongiovanni,
Yes.
Mr. Falcone,
Yes.
Ms. Johnson.
Yes.
Mr. Kukovic,
Yes.
Ms. Rodriguez.
Yes.
Mr. Taylor.
Yes.
Very good, thank you. Moving on to new business, we already made the next council meeting for next week on Tuesday, was it?
Tuesday, 6 p.m.
Tuesday, 6 p.m. And can I have a motion for public comment?
No, I had some questions I wanted to discuss under new business as mentioned under my committee reports. Is it possible, all the grant funding that we go out, it's great when we announce that we get the grant funding, but can we have a follow-up or something to close the loop where the public can see, hey, we are awarded this funding in this year, this is the project that it's going to and the status of that project? So it's like, we got so like the $2,000 for the waterfalls. I guess obviously so that was awarded this year. The project is the waterfall. It like anything on our website, grants awarded project status.
Like a dashboard?
Like, yes.
If it's something for new business, we should add it to the agenda for the next meeting so that we could talk about it at great depth, because I'm not prepared to, I don't have anything to give.
You know, it's just, it's a question. It's not an actual like new business, nothing we can vote on. Again, I had questions about a lot of the grant funding because we haven't met in 6 weeks. Is there some way that the public can be kept informed in terms of a method of communication where the borough can create like a dashboard or a project tracker or something to be like, hey, you know, like how do we have all this money that's outstanding unless we know it's being used and appropriated? Do you know what I'm saying?
Sure, we can look
Like,
into it.
and then I also saw your announcement for the first installment of the PFAS settlement.
Mhm.
The total project or the total award price for that suit was 1.185 billion. Do you guys know offhand what Hopacon's total portion is of that?
No, because we have an attorney that actually works for us. So everybody gets their piece of the portion. So off the top of my head, I don't really know what that is.
Do you know how many installments it is? Do we know
No.
that? Okay.
No.
I don't know, I don't work on that litigation as another I
Yes,
do know that it is a formula based over
it's already been decided.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, but I think the biggest thing, and the last thing, and Ron, I'm sorry for asking this question. The Nixle alert systems, is there a way on the administrative side to see the success deliverability rates on the messages, whether it's email or text messages? Because there's a lot of people who are signed up to get the notifications, but they don't always get the notification. So can we like see or put a messaging out, you know, to encourage residents to resubscribe if they have or they haven't? I don't know what the issue is.
I don't get them. I'm signed up. I don't
And
get them.
Jonathan, you don't get them?
Do you not get them either?
I get them sometimes.
Some like.
Well, yeah, and that's, yeah, exactly. So,
Sporadic.
yeah, so if we can
Sporadic.
look and just, because if
Did you
something,
get one today?
No,
I did not get one today, but I heard that one
Yes, I
did go.
did.
You
You
got it,
did.
Not the thunderstorm.
I did not.
yeah. So if there's a way to check with Nixle to kind of see if there's a bug or something going on, just to make sure that if you're putting something out, that residents are getting the information when it's put out.
Right.
Thank you.
Suggesting if you become a volunteer, EMS or fire department, you get free alerts.
Is that how you do it? Sign me up.
Very good.
You don't have to worry about the next one.
Only if I get to drive the truck.
Okay, can I have a motion to open to the public?
Motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
So the motion is open to the public for comments.
since we're talking about emergency service. Ron, this is probably a question for you. Is with the gas mains that are being put in, is there a way to, I want to say, better coordinate the closure of major intersections? So last week, week before, we had both Durbin and Brooklyn Mountain and Broadway closed at the same time. That can kill people. Because we can't get an ambulance through the town. We also have the work being done on Durbin by the post office. So it's like, we need to like kind of think through where they're working and kind of either give EMS or fire some a little bit more information of what work's gonna happen where, because we don't find out about it sometimes until we're stopped in front of a construction crew.
Okay.
And the problem too is when we bring in the police officers from outside of town, they don't know our roads.
Right.
So we're asking like, hey, where can we go? So for safety purposes, if we could get a better coordination of closing major intersections, that would be like fantastic. Second question is more on money. So when the gas lines are done, they're only paving the side of the road that they've disturbed, right? Or are they doing the whole
No.
road?
They're
No.
doing 12 feet.
They're doing 12 feet.
So if they've damaged the opposite side of the road, are they
Yeah.
responsible?
That's gonna be a complete coordination between the borough and the gas company that we will dovetail, if you will, the paving of the road. So if they're gonna cover 75% of it, we'll have it in our capital to do the other 25%. So,
The entire town?
yes,
The entire town will be repaid by.
by 2030, the
Yeah,
entire town.
so I've noticed it a lot in my area, so I'm up by Durbin Ave School.
Yeah.
That whole area, the roads haven't been done in a while.
Right.
Which is okay, because they've been in fairly decent condition, but when the heavy equipment came in.
Yep.
They dug up the one side,
Yep.
but because of the weight of the equipment, they've now damaged. And they like to just stash their equipment wherever they want, which I think we should get that cleaned up as well, because they're also dropping material throughout the sides of the roads that aren't being worked on as well.
Makes no sense just to pay portions of the road. That just
That's
doesn't make no
what I would-
sense at all. And it's been a constant conversation about when we start that. That'll be a collaboration between the borough and the contractor to pave as much of all the road as we possibly can. My understanding by 2030, I don't doubt I'll be here, but in 2030, all the roads in the back.
Ron, we're gonna do a volunteer.
Yeah. No, sorry. That retirement button's looking awful good.
Yeah, it was just
It-
that like
it-
we were.
All the roads of Pacon will be paved.
Yeah, it was just, I was concerned that with the opposite sides of the roads being damaged,
Yeah.
that someone is going to have to pay for that
Yep.
at some point, and I don't think you guys should have to
No,
pay
I
for it.
have to say, our
They're damaging
contractors
the
are
road.
very responsive.
I was gonna say, the gas company's pretty good, because
They are.
understand, even if they disturb something like on your property,
They'll come fix it.
they'll come fix it.
No.
Then call
No.
them.
Then call us.
That-
No.
Yeah, yeah, I
Sue
understand.
them, or-
The entire corner of the town, Bergen, Billings, York,
They're not done
Carteret,
yet, though. Not
they're
done yet.
dumping all kinds of material. So all the sand and things like that, they're dumping on the side of the
doing?
road. They're also breaking
I
up,
think so.
They're not.
they're
done yet.
also breaking up the pavement on the opposite side of the road. That's why I was really, because I walk the dogs, and
And
12 times a day.
they did the same thing up
Miles,
in north, when they repaved the north, they just parked the vehicle.
Well, that was the
stuff all-
county, wasn't it?
Yeah,
That was the county.
they're parking in people's yards.
Coming back to his comment regarding the coordination between EMS and the road closures, I think it's important if Rich gets involved.
Yeah.
What the street, then if the dispatches, everybody else lets
Okay,
them know.
O'Shea's doing all the coordination of that. He's the traffic director, if you will.
But it's like you get a Facebook post once in a while.
Yeah.
That's not sufficient for,
We'll tie it into the OEM. The OEM would be the connection to that.
that would be a better one. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thanks, Rob. Anyone else? Not seeing anything, motion to bring it back?
Motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
I do have, one comment that I just want to bring up under mayor's comments. I know that, we had gotten some questions today from, council in reference to the meeting tonight. I just want to remind everybody, when the agenda goes out on Friday, Ron had asked specifically that if anybody had questions, if they can get everything to the office by Monday, because the day of a meeting to try to pull people together, get information and disrupt business that's happening inside the municipality, it's not very conducive. So I just want to remind council, if you do have any questions about the agenda or whatnot, if you can get them, to Ron at least by Monday, so he can work on getting those answers for you, so that he can answer all the questions and that there's time for that. That's all. We do have a need for executive session to discuss
Personnel, DPW.
personnel, and there is no formal action afterwards, so you don't need to wait around for us to come back if you'd like.
Should have a 5-minute break to run.
Yeah.
So so I'll make a motion.
All those, let's do a roll call. Thank you all for coming. Yes, we roll call.
Mr. Bongiovanni,
Yes.
Mr. Falcone.
Yes.
Ms. Johnson.
Yes.
Mr. Kukovic,
Yes.
Ms. Rodriguez,
Yes.
Mr. Taylor.
Meeting.